Today we talk about silver's clear hump, not that way dirty people, and apparently Gen Zs are gold bugs now, but let's see if that report kind of gets muster, if that makes sense. Look, if you're watching this on the replay, use the time codes below to go to your favorite part, but if you're watching live, you get to enjoy everything we do here at Good Morning Stackers, your weekdaily live show with me, Joe Main, all about gold, silver, platinum analysis. We do a topic of the day, questions and answers, and all the fun stuff we do with the GMS family. If you want to join the GMS family, hit the big red subscribe button. 487 subscribers. We're getting close to 500 in the 500 1 ounce silver giveaway as well. Not 500 1 ounces in one. I'll explain in a second. But first we do the Synchronised Slurp. That's where we grab a tasty beverage. Within the first one of the show, grab Synchronised Slurp. Here we go. Slurp it together. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, we almost missed the Synchronised Slurp in the first 1 minute of the show. Again, my name is Joe Main. Worked in the bullion industry for 11 years. Been a stacker for longer than that. Now I do this show every weekday morning. And I help you launch and grow on YouTube and other social media, particularly for businesses. I deal with many different clients in all realms of business. If you have a business or you know someone with a business who's looking to increase their customer base and form a bit of a social media community, that's what I'm really, really good at. I do use this show as kind of like a proof of concept at the same time, even though I love doing what I do. We do some shout outs, then we'll look at, silver, gold, platinum, then that story of the day, gold bugs, Gen Z gold bugs, and then we get out of here. Huzzah! GMS, fellow stackers. Early catch today. Yes, that's right. Pete Repeat says, GMS, I have to go out. How dare you, sir? How dare you? I will catch the replay. Use the time codes. Glad you made it, Hazza. Have a great day, everyone. Love the fact that you come in and then say, I just want to say hi, but then I've got to go. This is what a community is all about. It's great. Mark, Florida man. What did you do today, Florida man? Did you save a cat from a tree? Florida man, burns down 10 rows of houses. I don't know. It's Florida man doing something. Florida man might be stacking silver today, quite possibly. CT from the Lone Star State in Texas. Good morning. There you go. GMS, y'all. GMS, y'all. CT for the Synchronized Slurp. All right, my funky people. We are going to, of course, quickly share the screen. Why? Why would I want to share the screen? Because we need to talk about, obviously, my brand partner, Perth Bullion Exchange, perthbullion.com.au. They're my brand partner. They're my preferred dealer that I buy from. And also, they happen to be one of my clients for the stuff that I do with businesses. I teach them how to create consistently engaging content. Their YouTube channel is going great guns, producing amazing content. But of course, they happen to be Australia's first dealer to offer free shipping on all discount volumes. What does that mean? You buy over a certain amount and you get free shipping. If I type in special right here in the top right-hand corner, you can't see that on the screen, but there's a little search bar and I've typed in special. What comes up is this week's special for Perth Bullion Exchange. They do a special every single week. They launch it on a Monday on YouTube and other social media. And they put it up on the website and it goes for the whole week, not just a 24-hour thing like other websites, like other dealers do, get in quick or else it's gone. No, they do it for the entire week. So you can get this week 10-ounce Scottsdale stacker bars, silver ones, for the weekly special of $10 off. But if you qualify for any of the quantity discounts, so minimum 10, if you buy 10, you get free shipping Australia-wide. Express on sign-on delivery, express shipping, sign-on delivery, fully insured, the whole thing. You don't pay more. Okay, so amazing deal. I think for free shipping plus their weekly specials as well. Any other announcements I need to quickly do? Let me go back to me because we really want to just focus on me here, people. Very quickly, I'll mention a couple of things. Of course, we are doing the giveaway of the 1 ounce silver coin. This was donated by our esteemed GMS family member, Tony Peterson, who will probably join in on the chat at some point, I'd imagine. She tends to do that. She donated this for a 500 subscriber giveaway. Now, it doesn't mean the 500th subscriber gets it. It means once we're at at around about 500 subscribers, and this is a Jekyll Island 1 ounce silver round, or is it a coin technically? Well, I think we had that debate, didn't we? Was it a coin or was it a round? Was it actually, no, it's going to be a round. It's not a coin. I'm going to double check that. Second. Oh, yeah, from Second Arrow Silver. So that's a round, not a coin, because it's not legal tender. But this round will go to a lucky winner. How it will work is, I think at this stage, around about the 500th subscriber, when we hit over that, I'll put out an entry form. You'll probably have 24 hours to enter, and then I'll do some kind of random number generator thing, and the winner will win it. At this stage, I think I'm going to have to, because I've got international subscribers, I think you're going to win it, and I think I'll have to send it to you free of charge. Like, I've got international subscribers, so if an Australian wins it, obviously you just get it for free in the mail, or we can meet up if you're in the Melbourne, Victoria kind of area. Or if you're international, I guess I'm just going to have to suck it up and send it to you, even if it costs me $10 million to get it out to you, because I love my GMS family. That's that announcement. A final announcement, once I hit 500 subscribers and after a certain amount of watchable hours on YouTube, I'm going to be eligible to start to offer YouTube memberships. This is something I'm considering doing. And we've got it would be a lot of perks. Everything here stays the same, but there just might be, some really good perks, including discounts from Perth Bullion Exchange, including extra specials from Perth Bullion Exchange. And with that, it might be discounts, I mean a rolling on just permanent discount. You get X amount percentage off the premium, or you just get X amount off per ounce all the time if you're a premium member. It might be $5-10 a month, something like that, but the amount that you receive in return will be far higher than what you're paying. You'll get extra content from me. You'll get a lot of sort of stuff that is not bullion related, but it might be health and wellness stuff. It'll also be stuff that I wouldn't normally talk about on a public chat. So it might be the more spicy stuff as well. So if you're into the spicy stuff, and I don't mean, ooh, look at me. It's not, I'm not doing OnlyFans. Okay. It's not that. I don't mean that kind of spicy. I mean, just, politically or this or that stuff you really can't say in too much in public. It wouldn't be controversial, but it's like, the algorithm and all that stuff. So I'm either going to do that on YouTube Premium, or I might do that on, say, locals.com, one of those services, something like that. So that's coming soon, I think, and it's going to be amazing. You're going to get so much extra content for $5-10 a month, plus constant discounts and specials from Perth Bullion Exchange. It's going to be great. So we'll launch that soon. Okay, so keep that around. So time code. Let's talk about Silver's hump. Silver's clear hump. And I don't mean that kind of hump, you dirty mongrels, right here. I mean Silver's hump. Where am I going, Joe? Here we go. This is Silver on I'm going to show you this first, actually. Here, I'll do this first. This is what I was talking about right here. GMS. I post this on the Gold and Silver Stackers Australia forum every single weekday. I post a little screenshot, what I'm talking about in today's show, and then a little link to the show. So if you're not a member of Gold and Silver Stackers Australia, it's Australia's premier forum for Gold and Silver Stackers. You have to be from Australia, I think, to be a member. 8,000 plus members in Australia. That's crazy. And it's free to join, free to post, buy, swap, sell auctions and all that kind of stuff. So free to trade with people. But this is what I posted. Silver's hump is clear, closing over $29.80 US. The party continues. Failure brings my best buy zone into focus. Plus, and I talk about the Gen Z thing. Okay, so this is it right here. I'll show you this very quickly. As you can see, because I haven't drawn that in on the actual chart, you can see the very clear hump that we need to get over, and that's between this downtrend line and this horizontal line at resistance at $29.80. Makes sense? Good. Let's take it to the live chart using the tradingview.com website, priced in USD, $29.17 US cents. Okay, very clearly you have seen, and this is on the 4 hour. We were talking about the 4 hour down here. Remember all this? Let me show you. Just as a refresher from yesterday and the last couple of days. Remember this? Do you remember back in the day when we were talking about this? We'd gone into extremely oversold. I was saying this is looking potentially fake outish, meaning this whole move, or a move down to the best buy zone of 28 to 26, Could be a fake out. I was looking really positive. I was looking confident, 70% chance that eventually we would see a move. Now, I was wrong in when that move would happen. I thought that move would happen here, and I thought we would find support here. I was 70% confident of that. I was wrong. We have come back down, but it hasn't been a giant spike. And when I show you on the daily time frame, you'll see what I'm talking about as well. We've kind of formed this U kind of shape. And it seems that buyers might be, we're not over the hump just yet, but might be in control right here. But since then, on the 4 hour, we've seen a clear move back up into regular territory on the relative strength index. Okay, let's take a look at the daily. Now, this is what I was talking about. Okay, so what we actually have seen today, I wouldn't call it the fake out just yet, but we did certainly see what I thought was likely to happen, where it was a move back up to test this area here. Because why was I thinking this? I like to give you my thinking on it to help you for your potential technical analysis of your own stuff, right? We had this move broke down here. Then yesterday, not yesterday, day before yesterday on, let's call it Monday. Yes, so on the open, on Monday, we did close below, but it was a quick spike and it didn't spike down very far. See that move? Just very small. And we also closed above the previous spike. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. That's really setting up. And on that 4 hour time frame, I showed you with the uptick on the relative strength index back into normal range. I'm like, oh, that looks like it's setting up a turnaround. So rather than a continuation down into here, I was looking more likely, I gave it a 70% chance of a turnaround or a fake out. I guess we haven't seen the fake out yet because we're not above this hump, but we saw very clearly, gee, it really should be my my quote. Joe Main always says, gee, what do you know? On the daily time frame, we can have a look. Where did we find resistance yesterday? Now, interestingly, we spiked down again, even lower, but it was a quick move. So it was a failed move to spike lower. And oftentimes from a failed move comes a fast move in the opposite direction. We saw that, and we actually closed green. And where did we find resistance? Gee, what do you know? At that downtrend line right there. Now we've opened. Here's the thing though. We did close below this big downtrend line, if you know what I'm talking about. Right here was a clear level for me. It's actually more easier to see on the 4 hour where you see where it intersects with certain peaks. Have a look at it right there. This was a failed attempt. Then that formed the downtrend line. Then we found resistance there. And interestingly, we found support right there and right there on a spike. We also found support around about here for a little bit, failure, breakdown, and then we are where we are. So we closed yesterday below this trend line. So that says we're not out of the woods yet. That's what tells me this is the clear hump between here and 29.80. So while we are below this trend line, I have to remain, what did I say yesterday? Yesterday, I'm pretty sure I said 70% chance. Did I say that? I don't remember what I said. What did I say yesterday? I've got to stay consistent, Joe. While we're below this trend line, it's more likely, so more than a 50% chance. Let's give it, I think I probably gave it 70%. We'll give it a 70% chance. Let's stick with that. While we're below this trend line and while we're below, I would say $29.80. And that's why I drew in that green box that I showed you on the Facebook page right there. Between here and here, while we're below here, I would say it's a 70% chance at the moment that we see the best buy zone hit on silver. And that happens to be between $28 anywhere down to $26 US. I'd be more confident to say that 70% chance that $28 is the very solid bottom, which I've been talking about. It's a solid support, which I gave you reasons for yesterday and probably the day before as well. I won't go through those again, but probably much less chance. So I would say just, maybe a 10% chance we get down to the bottom of the best buy zone at 26, but much more likely we see while we're underneath this trend line and underneath 29.80, 70% chance that we see the best buy zone hit the top end at $28 US. Should you be waiting for that? Hell no. What happens if it doesn't? What if it fakes out here? What if this continues, right? What if this 4 hour continues to tick up? So instead of turning over, which it could happen, okay, and all of this stuff, this is, it could do this, it could do this. Yeah, I know this is what people do, right? This is what Good, I would say. This is what honest technical analysis people say. They say, look, it could do this, it could do that. Nothing's guaranteed. Here's my sort of percentage likelihood. So you're hearing a lot of, well, it could do this and it could do that. So does it really matter? No. Should you be dollar cost averaging anyway? Yes. But be very wary of people who say, oh, it's definitely going to do this and it's definitely going to do that. But out of interest, I would say, right here, you can see this very clear trend line. Actually, no, I'll get rid of that. I don't like it. What can happen is you can spend a bit of time in extremely oversold right here, come up to a point, but that's a fake out. Then we come back to test this range, which would then potentially take that down to the 28 level, but that would be possibly a really clear, a very clear support level. And that's what I think it is, a very clear support, big support there at 28, the top end of the best buy zone. So that's really all you need to know for silver. We've got to clear the hump being over this trend line. Let's call that anywhere between 29.30, 29.25. We're splitting hairs here. 5 cents difference. Who gives a, right? And $29.80. Closing the day, closing any day, closing the day, not spiking up to and closing below, closing any day. So a green close above, $29.80. And then I'd say, oh, that's looking really interesting. We're probably out of the woods for seeing the best buy zone, much less likely probably a 50-50 or a 30-70, something like that. And we'd probably be heading up to test the final hurdle. You know the final hurdle, $31, got to close on the monthly time frame, 100% bull market, not 99% where I am. That's the silver's clear hump, that area right there. Yeah, that's it. I'm going to leave it at that. Silver, and this is gold. We're going to power through this because we're going to finish this. We tried to do it pretty speedily. This is gold on the daily. No, 4 hourly. Let's go to the daily. We are back above. So we're at 2,408 US dollars. We've been talking about the final hurdle for new all-time highs at 2,400 US dollars. I won't go through that again because my new subscribers, my old subscribers, my regulars will be getting tired of that. For the new subscribers, just go back to a couple of videos and I've been talking about it. But it's a clear level of support. We did find a support. It was a spike down, but a cluster of support around this area. I have been saying, and I will continue to say, holding above 2,400 US dollars on a daily time, preferably a weekly, but I'll even go a daily. As long as we hold above here, new all-time highs coming soon rather than in 6 months time. Okay, if we start getting down into this area, I go, okay, a new all-time high for gold is further away. When we're above this area here, above 2,400, I say, oh, it's coming really soon, and it'll be in weeks and a couple of months rather than 4, 6, 8, 9 months like that. So very clear line of delineation here for me personally. If you disagree, that's okay. You do you. So we're above there at the moment. So again, we're sort of in this no man's land. We're just skirting above and below 24, but it's good to see it above it. So for the moment, consolidation here would be lovely. Move up to say 24.30 would be nice. It coincides with this little level here. Or this previous spike here, I should say, at 24.30. You might find resistance. So let me see. Clear area. Clear. Would you like fries with that, sir? Clear area of resistance here. Previous level of resistance. It was a spike and a previous cluster of resistance on closes. All right. So spiked but failed to close. Right. So very clear, 24.30. So that would be a little area of resistance to watch out for. In between here and here, new all-time highs coming soonish. Above here, new all-time highs coming like really soon, like imminently. So just watch that between that and that level. Below there, we're talking about 23.70, the bottom end of this rectangle right there. And then down there, we're talking about this uptrend line. So I'm nowhere near thinking we get to the best buy zone on gold, which is 22.50 to 21.50. I'm not there at the moment. While we're above 23.50, I'd say there's only say a 20% chance at the moment we hit that area. So 70% chance for silver we hit my best buy zone. Only a 20% chance at the moment that we hit the best buy zone in gold. Again, should you be waiting for it? Hell no. I nearly swore then. Hell no. Oh, some people think that's swearing, which you could be right. Bit of blasphemy. So that is gold. Watch out for those levels, and I won't talk about higher prices. We've got to come up against this resistance level right here, wherever that hits. That's gold. That's silver. Gold to silver ratio Gold to silver ratio. Look at this. Man, my subscribers know what I'm talking about. And if you're new to this, this is what I've been saying. Ah, man, I love this stuff. Because we had been, and I won't harp on it, okay, but just showing you. Because we had, on the 4-hour time frame, we had already gone into extremely overvalued for gold on the 4-hour time frame, not on longer, not on monthlies, not on yearlies, right? Just on the 4-hour. It's extremely overvalued for gold here. Even though we made a higher high on the gold to silver ratio, it was a lower low on the relative strength index, which said to me, oh, we're about done. We're not going to break this resistance. And I've been saying this for the last few days. We're not going to see resistance broken for a bit. We're going to tick over, and silver's going to outperform gold this week. It's kind of been hovering, but what you can see on the relative strength index is we have been trending down. So it's just been consolidating. So I won't say actually silver's been outperforming. It's kind of just been in a no man's land in this general zone. I do think because we've had 1, 2, 3 spikes here, and see this curve? This is really interesting to note. Watch this. When you see spikes in prices like this, and you see a curve over like this, let me show you, that can indicate, not all the time, give me a second, what do I want? I want a brush. When you see this, right, that is like an arc, right? It is not making, it's making technically higher highs, but they're so small. It's not going in a trend line like that. So that tells me the sellers are getting exhausted, or the gold, this is on the gold to silver ratio, right? So gold is getting exhausted as being overvalued, right? And silver is about to take over. So I think you're going to see a drop down, in my humble opinion, maybe not at the end of this week, but you're going to see a drop down to this resistance, this support level now at 81.50. So I think silver in the next few days and probably into next week will outshine silver, will outshine gold. All right. So this is a clear level because of that relative strength index. At some point, we'll get down into sort of this gold undervalued area, and then that will take over again, maybe, or will silver continue to shine again while we're below, just so you know, while we're below this very large uptrend line. I've just got to show you, I know it's very confusing and detailed and all that stuff. While we are below this uptrend line right here, it says that silver is still in control of the market on the longer term time frame. Like this is the monthly chart, right? So this is talking over months and months and years, right? While we're below this trend line. So it's a very key level. If we get to above this trend line, I'm starting to think, oh, I might be wrong on silver overtaking gold for a while. And particular, just so you know, if we break 93 point, I've got it at 93.5 on the gold to silver ratio. If we close any week or any day above there, oh man, that means just says gold is going to really have its time in the sun again, and it will continue to outshine silver, but we're not there yet, okay? Very clear uptrend line right there, which would need to be broken and held above in order to say gold is the gold is the it metal for the months and years to come, okay? But look at this, spike, curve over, and all of that right there, look at this pattern right here, and it closes, and they're big spikes too. All of that tells me heading down. I'm going to give you an 80% chance on that we're at least heading down to this support level here, this spike down here, that's at the 81.50, and potentially to break through. I won't give a percentage on that, but 80% chance we hit there, and maybe even lower, okay, down to there. So silver will take over. I'm 80% confident silver will take over gold for the next, week or so. And you can count it from today if you want. So that's the gold to silver ratio. Let's do, man, my voice today. Let's do platinum. Okay. Platinum is still in the head and shoulders pattern playing out. We did not see, right here, what am I talking about? Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Very clear. I think you can see it. It broke the neckline, so I think we're still heading down, and I'm going to give that an 80% chance right now while we're still above below this trend line right here of about 950 US dollars, and horizontal line, not a trend line. It's a support and resistance line. So right there, we made a play for it. We spiked above. It was a failed move to close above the neckline right here. So failed to close above. We spiked above, but we closed below it right there. So for me, until we're above this area here of 950, really I would like to say until we're above this downtrend line here of 980, but I'll call it 950 for now. Until we close above here, it's 80% chance. This is a head and shoulders pattern, which would take us down to at least the top end of the best buy zone at 900 US dollars, around about this uptrend line coinciding with that. Okay, if we spike down and close a day below the trend line right here, then we're heading all the way down to probably at least 840 US dollars. I had someone post on Reddit earlier, just overnight, that their best buy zone for them is $800 or lower. I've got my best buy zone between 900 to 750, so 800 is about there. They think they're not buying platinum until it hits or goes below 800. Not for me. I think 840 is a very clear level, as I mentioned in a comment to them. Very clear support level. Support, spike down, support right there. We're going back, support here. Cluster of support back around here. That's in 2015. So it's a very clear level. If 840 is broken, then and broken and not and held as resistance and becomes resistance, then yeah, you're looking at that 750 down there. But that's all I say. Top end, I think, is still likely 80% chance we see for the moment. While we're below that level, 80% chance we see $900-ish in platinum. Would you be buying platinum there? Post a comment below. That's gold, silver, platinum, gold to silver ratio, out of interest for the Aussies. The AUD USD is still below this downtrend line, so AUD is continuing to weaken against the USD. Okay, that's all you need to know for that. I won't harp on that one, and that probably won't even get a time code. Okay. Let's do some quick little comments and then we'll go, because some people have got in a little bit late. Quick comments and then we'll talk about the topic of the day is, have Gen Z turned into gold bugs? Let's talk about that in just a second. Has a great day to see you, Pete. Mark Flores said I stayed out of the news. You did today. I didn't see a Florida man does X. Ray's back in GMS. All good to see you. Desi, you did make it today. Good to see you, big boy. Great. Good on you, Des. Hey everyone, I made it today. Good to see you. And Jason Ashworth, I got your comment, Jason, but I haven't had a chance to respond to it. Do I have a chance now to respond to it? Give me 1 second while Jason is here, because I like to respond to my people when I can. Comments. Okay, Jason says, this is a comment on the YouTube channel. Okay, hit the big red subscribe button to join. Jason said, and I probably don't have an answer for you, but it said, what do you think if the US dollar collapses? This would bring the other currencies stronger, yes, against the dollar, but you would think the price of gold and silver would also rise then. So would be odd if, say, it is now half the price in AUD. So would it be priced in a different currency? And he says, I know a bit complicated. Maybe we can talk about it in tomorrow's live. That is a bit complicated. What do you think would happen if the US dollar collapses? This would bring other currencies stronger. Yes, so we talk about Australian dollars, for example. If the US dollar collapsed, obviously, if it's collapsing and the other ones, I just said obviously. No, not obviously. This would bring the other currencies stronger against the US dollar, perhaps for a period of time. But, if that big domino falls, the US dollar collapses, what's the rest of the world doing? It might have you might see that, but the others might possibly go down too. This would bring the other currencies stronger against the US dollar, but would you think the price of gold and silver would also rise? Probably. I don't know because what did we see in the GFC? The GFC in 2008, gold had a big spike down. So it would be odd if, say, it is now half the price in AUD. Right. So would it be priced in a different currency? I don't know if it would be priced in a different currency. I'm going to give you the short answer is I have no bloody idea. But someone commented and said, It's only AFL something. Agreed. Said agree. Would like to hear your thoughts. I remember around 2010, Aussie dollar was getting over parity and thing. We're talking about a US dollar collapse though, so I really don't know, Jason. All bets are off. To be honest, if the US dollar collapsed, all bets are off, and I honestly don't know. And I wish I could be that guy who says, I definitely know. If the dollar would gold would shoot through the roof and all that. If you're listening to all these people that say gold definitely shooting through the roof if the US dollar collapses, that's not necessarily true. I would like to think that's true because obviously in times of uncertainty, gold would tend to be a safe haven. But look at the GFC. There was a big time of uncertainty and gold went boop, 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 boop. Now, it had a big recovery and then a subsequent massive run, right? Up all the way up to 2011. So, but it did drop first, okay? So maybe if we're talking the drop maybe first, so US dollar collapses, drops quickly, panic sets in because people go, oh, sell, sell, sell. And then the smart people go, well, no, it's a hedge against uncertainty. And then we see this big upward tick in gold and silver. Absolutely could be true. Could that then coincide with the Aussie dollar strengthening against the US dollar? Yes, but then that means your gold and silver holdings in Australian dollars wouldn't go up as much, obviously, because we're getting closer to parity with the USD. Any economist who says they know what's going to happen, any pundit that says that they know what's going to happen, are probably looking for clicks and for views because no one knows. No one knows. And that's why you own gold and silver as insurance. You have car insurance in case you have a car accident. You have life insurance. You probably guys should have life insurance in case something happens to you, your family's protected, or you have precious metals to have something to protect your family if something was to happen. You have a store of food. You have a store of this. You have potentially a means to protect it. Maybe. It depends where you are in the world and how easy that is to do. And that's all insurance policies, right? So, sorry I can't give you the big specific answer, but, it is what it is. Nakazorai says, morning all. Mark Florida says, due to your... I'm going to get back to that. So we've got a few questions, all right? So we're going to do the story of the day, the topic of the day. Are Gen Z gold bugs now? Apparently, according to a new report, Gen Z and millennials are buying a lot more gold than the other generations, such as Gen Xers and the baby boomers above me. This is according to a recent report, and I will show you said article. It's an article based on a report. It's not the report itself, but let's quickly show you what's going on with Gen Z and millennials in particular. And the other reason I want to show you this quick article, and we'll do this quick and then we're going to go, is, and I don't mean to be condescending, but I want to give you the guys I want to teach a little bit of reading comprehension and sort of logical reading comprehension at the same time. Okay, so Gen Z, millennials, gold bugs. Let's read the article and then we'll do a little bit of a reading comprehension kind of thing. I want to get your comments on this as well based on the article. So I'm going to do that and then I will share the screen. Okay, this is from, share the screen, Joe. There you go. This is from, out of interest, give them a plug, goldseek.com. Cool. Looks like they might be some kind of, I don't even know what it is, might be some kind of aggregate news site, something like that. Who the hell knows? But it says, Gen Z and millennial investors want gold! Exclamation point. So that's going to be a bit of a, look, it's clickbaity and that's cool. We all do it. We do it to a certain point. Is Mike Mahari saying, gold to $10,000 in 3 months' time? No, he's just saying, we all do it a little bit clickbaity. But Gen Z and millennial investors want gold! Exclamation point. Here we go. Let's read through it. You might think of gold as old-fashioned, an investment that mostly appeals to boomers. But in the real world, it's millennials and Gen Zers who are clamoring for gold, according to a recent study by Bank of America Private Bank. Now, first of all, I'll just do a bit of reading comprehension or logical comprehension here. Don't believe any report about anything pretty much. Unless it's something that's based in physical reality. I'm of the opinion these days that a report on anything is probably a 50-50. It's a 50-50 chance it's correct. Why? Well, who did the report? Who are they funded by? Do they have an interest in propping up the price of something? Are they talking about something that they happen to sell? All that stuff. So it's from Bank of America Private Bank. Yep, sure, whatever. But according to a recent study by Bank of America Private Bank, 45% of wealthy investors under the age of 43 own gold, and another 45% expressed interest in holding the yellow metal. In other words, 90% of millennials and Gen Z investors are positive about gold. This is the main reading comprehension I need you to get, but we'll come back to it, okay? Let's read that one more time, and I want you to pop your comments. Is there any issue with this sentence, okay? And then we'll read the rest and then we'll come back. Blah, 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 Bank of America, 45% of wealthy investors are under the age of 43, own gold, and another 45% expressed interest in holding the yellow metal. In other words, 90% of millennials and Gen Z investors are positive about gold. Okay, these are far higher percentages than we find among Gen Z and boomer investors. Might be, that could be true. A separate study, this is a separate study, okay? A separate study by State Street, no idea who they are, found millennials on average have about 17% of their portfolios allocated to gold. Cool. The highest percentage of any demographic. Go millennials. Good on you. Boomers and Xers like me average about 10%. Okay. SoFi head of investment strategy Liz Young-Thomas told Reuters that young people have historically considered traditional assets such as gold boring, but strong returns over the last several years have turned their heads and changed their attitudes. Yeah, gold, the price of something goes up, makes the news, and everyone goes, ooh, it's up a bit. I might get into that. In fact, gold was among the best performing assets in 2023 and through the first half of 2024. So true. Quote, we are seeing returns we don't normally see in such a short period of time. Naturally, when assets have strong returns, younger audiences start to pick up, Thomas said. According to Reuters, it's not just the healthy spot price in recent months that has renewed the buzz around gold. Quote, it's also increasingly on the shelves in popular, this is true, in popular retail environments such as Costco, which definitely does boost its visibility. True. I find a financial planner, are we going to name them? No. All right. An anonymous financial planner told Reuters that his millennial clients get wealthy, as his millennial clients get wealthier, they become increasingly interested in investing in directly held self-custodied gold. If you don't hold it, you don't own it. That's great to see. This is because gold comes with very little counterparty. So this is the person's, commentary at the end. Comes with very little counterparty risk. I do agree. If you own physical metal and store it in a safe at home, there isn't another party involved. No, there's not another party involved. But if you're going to, as we say, I don't store things in a safe. I don't store, stuff in precious things in a safe here at home because why? I'm in the precious metals industry. I've worked in it. People know my face. They know blah, blah. I'm in the public. I don't do it. If you want to do it, go for it. You don't tell a goddamn soul. Okay? Maybe your wife, and that's it. Maybe your kids know because, your kids see you safe. Nobody else. If you are going to store stuff at home. Okay, there isn't another party involved. Well, there could be a third party involved, being the person who finds out, who tells that other person, who tells that other person, who tells a really bad person, who then breaks into your home with pew-pews or whatever, with a crowbar. Okay, so nobody can default on gold or silver. Yeah, its value will never go to zero. Well, I guess true. Yeah, but value is subjective, so it depends. And gold is liquid under virtually any market conditions. I do agree with that. Young people are also becoming increasingly aware of the increasing risk in today's economy with rapidly increasing, not a good sentence. Young people are also becoming increasingly aware of the increasing risk in today's economy with rapidly increasing government debt and rampant price inflation. As Reuters noted, it is the world's financial system. If the world's financial system happens to go haywire or currencies collapse, at least you would have something real to hold on to. I do agree with that. Can you sell it at the time? Whatever. Yeah, you want to have a store of food. You want to have the other basics in place. But yes, Gold is a hedge against inflation, all that stuff. Okay, what do we think about that? Mostly agree. There's a couple of interesting things there. You don't want to store at home if you can't, if you don't have to. But I want to go back to here. So, Gen Z and millennial investors want gold. This is a bit of reading comprehension. So I'm going to read your comments below very quickly. Did you notice anything with that? And I'll just quickly, point it out in my humble opinion right here. Okay, so here's what I think, and I'll get to your questions right now. And thanks for sticking around, you wonderful, sexy people. Right here. The recent study, 45%, so 45% of wealthy investors under the age of 43. Okay, so it's 45% of wealthy investors under 43, meaning Gen Z and millennials. So really, can you say Gen Z are gold bugs? So first of all, it's 45% of a percentage, right? So it's not 45% of all Gen Zers and all millennials. No, it's 45% of the wealthy Gen Zers and the wealthy Gen Xers. So what's that percentage? And well, what's wealthy, but how many Gen Zers? And when we talk about Gen Z, okay, maybe the millennials, they're getting a bit older now, okay? A lot of them will be wealthy. The Gen Zers, not a large percentage of those guys are, I would say, wealthy as such. It wouldn't be a huge percentage, I wouldn't imagine. So this is a percentage of a percentage. So I think I think lumping Gen Zs in with this, I would definitely say millennials, sure, but lumping Gen Z in with this, Gen Z are clamoring for, gold. No, again, because it's 50%, 45% of a percentage of whatever that is. And then he goes, and another 45% expressed interest in gold, in holding the metal. Okay, that's interest. So in other words, no. In other words, 90% of millennials and Gen Z investors are positive about gold. No, that's not true. This is bad. This is terrible. This is reading comprehension. So Mike, Harry, love your work. Good stuff, but you're not doing anyone any favors saying that Gen Z and millennials investors want gold, particularly when you say 90% of millennials and Gen Z investors are positive about gold. No, it's 45% of wealthy Gen Z and millennials, which is a percentage of a percentage. What's that percentage? No, so you can't say, in other words, it's 90%. So not true. Anyway, I do like the fact, though, that this Mike guy, positive about gold, as I am too, but yeah, I wouldn't call this a particularly honest, genuine, honest kind of article here. He might just be incorrect, or he might be just, look, a bit of clickbaity stuff. You got to get your articles out and all that stuff. That is the big giveaway. 45% of wealthy, and then in other words, 90%. No, that's not true. But I will agree that at least millennials and probably Gen Zers, but not a huge percentage of them at the moment, because there's not a lot of wealthy Gen Zers. There's more wealthy millennials. So I would agree, though, a lot of wealthy millennials would be looking towards gold at the moment. They'd be more getting to be gold bugs again. Because gold has been going higher recently, and you can get it in more places, which is more visible, like Costco and all that sort of stuff. Does that make sense? Great. Good. I'm glad I could clear that up for you. Yeah, I would call that not really. That article is a bit like putting it on a bit, I would imagine. And that calculation there, that's a bit dishonest in my opinion. Could be a humble mistake, but you're not really doing the math on that. But I do agree, gold's still positive. Millennials probably, Gen Zs are probably getting into it too, but I wouldn't say any kind of we're not there yet, okay? When you start to see the millennials and particularly the Gen Zers really turn to gold, that's when you start looking at, are we at a peak yet? We're nowhere near a peak in gold, in my humble opinion. I'll get a couple of questions out. Mark Florida had one here. Due to your experience in the precious metals industry, having worked in precious metals for 11 years in the industry, have you a working guideline about decent historical premiums? In other words, would you consider an 8% premium on silver, AG, to generally be a good buy? If you're getting, 8% on silver. Yeah, let me just do the calculation on that. 8% premium on silver over spot? Yeah, That instantly says yes to me, but just give me 1 second. So silver, what are we talking? I'll do this in Australian dollars. Give me a second. So we're at $44.15. You can't see my screen, so I can open up my calculator and all that stuff. 44.15 times 0.08. Now I'm talking in Australian dollars, but this because I know what the prices are of things here in Australia. That's $3.50 Australian over spot. Yeah, that's a good deal for silver. Is it 1 ounce silver? Depends on the size. Is it, so what's that? So plus 44.115. That's, okay. Anyone below, let me put this right. So 47.60. Let me put this below. Put a comment below. If you're still watching, put a comment below to Mark Florida. Hey, anyone, if in Australia, if you could get, it depends on the size though. If we're talking 1 ounce silver, let's see the comments fly through now. Hey, Australians, if you could get 1 ounce silver for $47.70 Australian dollars, so $47.70 Australian per 1 ounce of silver, so like a 1 ounce bar or a 1 ounce coin or whatever, is that a good deal? Watch the comments. There's not many people watching at this time now, so there's only a few, but you might get at least one person say that's a great deal. The short answer is, Mark, that's a great deal. Okay? For silver and gold and platinum as well, I'll talk about it in a second. But for silver, that's a screaming bargain. Depends if you're talking, so all 1 ounce. Okay, so Mark's confirmed, all 1 ounce. And what about gold and platinum? So all 1 ounce for silver. If you can get 1 ounce silver in Australia, I'm talking. So give me a second. So that would be $29.20 in US dollars. I don't know the US prices as much. So $29.20 times 0.08 equals $2.30 over spot. A little bit different here it might be in the States, because I know that you can get some decent stuff in the States for $2.30 over spot. In Australia, that's a screaming bargain, 8%. 8% might not be a screaming bargain for you in Florida. Florida man, $29.20. So you'd be paying $31.50 an ounce. So to give you an example, and I'm just looking here, I'm not going to share the screen. What am I looking at? I would go to, let's just go to sdbullion.com. Out of interest, let's go silver, not eagles, we won't do that. We'll go silver dollars, no, we'll go silver rounds, 1 ounce silver rounds. So that's 30, where are we? 30, oh no, $31.50. Okay, so on SD Bullion, out of interest, a 1 ounce Trump silver round is as low as $32.40 US. You can get one, although having saying that, their top seller, 1 ounce generic silver rounds of their choice, as low as, but you got to buy a bunch, as low as $30.40. So that's less than $31.50 that we're talking about, which is the 8% over. But you have to buy a bunch of them. If you just want to buy 1 to 20, you're paying $31.15. So you can get it slightly cheaper, but I would say decent deal. 8% over is decent deal for silver. But as you go with gold and platinum, that percentage has to get lower. Okay. So for example, gold and platinum, no, I wouldn't say that's a great deal for gold. I have to get out of here, people. I've got stuff to do at 10 o'clock. But out of interest, gold 24. I have to talk about Australia. Sorry, Mark, to be annoying. But let's say 8% for gold. So what's that? 3640 times 0.08. $291. Yeah, no, 8% is high, is really high for gold and really high for platinum. It's high for gold and high for platinum, but not for silver. So if we're just talking silver, you're talking what's the average percentages for gold and platinum? You're talking your 2 to 3% range. Let's say 3640 times 0.03 is 109. You're talking in your 2 to 3% range roughly for gold for 1 ounce, and probably around about the same for platinum. I don't know exactly. So yes, screaming bargain, 8% over spot. For silver, screaming bargain in Australia, decent bargain in the US too. Gold and platinum, you're talking your lower percentages, 2 to 3%, sometimes less, depending, but 2 to 3% is generally good. That's pretty much it. CT said, Mark, just in the USD, just paid a 25% premium on Friday. Why? Gross. For silver. But even for silver, I guess if it was a special thing, then I can see it. If it was a special coin or a special release, anything like that. All right, my funky people, that is it. We have to go. Hello, Vanessa. Great to see you on the channel. I'm sorry that we have to go. Check everything on the replay. That has been Good Morning Stackers. We'll do the theme song. Thanks for watching, people. You'll get another live show tomorrow, Thursday, 9 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you have your...
Grab a tasty beverage
for the...
Let's get in the groove. Synchronized Slurp.
Synchronized Slurp, 3, 2, 1. Caught you out, people. Thanks for watching. Love your work. Join the GMS family. Hit the big red subscribe button. Stay safe. Stay informed. Keep stacking. See you tomorrow.